Good evening, brothers and sisters, family. It's a great opportunity to be here with you tonight and say a word or two about what they are trying to do. I see it as a very noble cause. Female hygiene is a very big problem in Africa, especially in Ghana. We start from Ghana and then we can extend it to all the other nations. When we talk about female hygiene, in this particular instance, we're looking at things that we can use to control menstrual flow. The items we're using are not only just for menstrual flow, we use it for gynecological surgeries, we use it for threatened abortions, we use it for any type of bleeding that a lady may have. This is something the lady doesn't control. You don't have any doing with this. It's the God's way of creating human beings. It's something that you have to go through monthly. However, they have made it almost impossible for some people, especially in underserved areas, to be able to afford this. And it's a cascading effect because it affects your education, it affects your schooling, and affects other things that ladies can do. There was a study that was done in Kenya, and they were able to find that 95% of females, young ladies in school age, will miss 1 to 3 days of schooling every month because of their menstrual period. If you think about the pain associated with the menstrual period itself, and then the inability to get access to sanitary pads. We're looking at tampons, highly absorbable tampons, napkins, and actual pads as they have. There are people who cannot afford that, and as a result, they will choose not to go to school, and because they don't want to be ashamed. And then you look at some of the African countries, particularly in Ghana, they consider sanitary pads a luxury item. So Ghana has imposed 20% luxury tax on sanitary pads. In addition, the country charges 12.5% on what they call VAT tax, value added tax. So as a young lady from a low income community has to pay 32.5% in tax just to get access to sanitary pads. This is something it's really unfair. If you look at it, the lady has nothing to do with what's happening. It's part of her physiology, and yet she has to be punished for being a female. And these governments, for whatever reason, do not see this as a problem. They have some groups who have been trying, in Ghana in particular, to try to get this reversed. And as we speak today, it's still continuing. The ladies have to continue to pay for that. So if you cannot afford it, you put yourself at risk for other things. Some ladies, because the recommendation is for you to change these things about every 3 to 4 hours. And when ladies cannot afford to do that, they tend to continue with the same pad, which then puts you at risk for infections. You can develop rashes around your perineal area, the female private area. You can develop abscesses around the area. And especially the ones who happen to use tampon itself. If you have the highly absorbable tampon, you are at risk for a very high infection called toxic shock syndrome. If one is unfortunate and you develop toxic shock syndrome, you can lose your life. It's commonly caused by an organism called Strep pyogenes or Staph aureus. The most serious one is the Strep pyogenes or strep infection. Should a lady develop this, they may present with fever, they may have rashes, they may have peeling of the skin, and because of the shock aspect, they may develop hypotension, low blood pressure. That individual can go into shock, and with the strep pyogenes, about 50% of the individuals who get this will succumb to the infection. And you're looking at a very rapid onset of infection, which requires attention. If not taken care of in about 1 to 2 days, you could lose that individual. They may have to be evaluated quickly, an abscess drained, IV antibiotics started, and immunoglobulins may be introduced. So you're looking at somebody who could have prevented an infection with maybe $1. Now looking at death. So organizations like these who are trying to get access, especially in the rural communities, as we go further away from the cities, we have young ladies who have really no access at all. Lack of access then predisposes them to these kind of problems. Perfect inflammatory disease, which also is a serious infection requiring antibiotics. So I think it is a noble cause, and if we can support this, it will be beneficial to most of us. And it's not only in Ghana, all over Africa, unfortunately. And the sad thing is, even in America, females pay taxes for female products, which makes no sense. And you may be able to figure it out. When you go to the store and you're looking at a female item, the same thing will be sold to a male at a different price. So they have built in some pricing for ladies, many a time for your deodorant or other items that if you were using a male item, you would be paying less. But this is a way of them exploiting female gender. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what we have to deal with. So I appreciate the opportunity to share a word or two about the implications of not having access to female hygiene products. It deals with the water sanitation and other issues. These all go in together. And if we can help minimize some of these, it will save lives. Thank you.